I'm going to do a little sound experiment that, if you haven't seen this before, I think you'll find to be pretty cool and pretty enlightening. It's meant to show you how the room can dramatically affect the sound experience for the people listening. And it's meant to show why it's important that you understand the reason that where you put your sub, where you put your seat matters. And to either have that knowledge or work with somebody who knows all about it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to ask my subwoofer in the corner there to play a 51 hertz sound. And I wanted to try to do this just with moving to the appropriate spot and having you guys listen to hear the sound level change, but I think I'm finding that my phone microphone and phone speakers just aren't good enough to be able to record and reproduce a 51 hertz tone. So what I'm going to do is use this here tool, which is a sound level meter, sound pressure level meter. And for those of you that don't know how this works, basically I have a reading at the bottom that goes plus or minus a scale of 10 dB, and wherever I turn this little dial here, that's basically the center frequency. So if I have this set to 100, that means if the needle's at 0, it's 100 dB. If it's at plus 4, it's 104 dB. And if I set it to 90, that sets 0 at 90, so then everything's based on that. So I'm going to go ahead and have the subwoofer play this tone, and I'm going to move to a couple different spots in the room and show you the difference in sound level. Subwoofer is kicking on now. Now it's playing the sound. Some of you, if you have good enough speakers, might be able to hear it. That would be pretty cool. So I'm just going to move over here by my seats. Right about here. And I've got my SPL meter set at 90. And you can see there that we're basically at 90 dB. So now I'm just going to take a few steps over to my right, move about 4 feet. Here you can see that it dropped quite a bit, so I'm going to recenter. It's already dropped by at least 10 decibels, which is a lot. I'm going to recenter my dial 80, and it's still not reading it. That means we've dropped 20 dB already. I'm going to recenter my dial for 70. Here you can see we're at about -5. Now my voice is even starting to affect the dial. So we've got a level at this spot, at this frequency, of 65 dB. I'm going to move back over 4 feet to the left, to my left. See the needle's pegged, so I'm going to bounce it back up. Back at just under 90 dB in this spot. So just by moving 4 feet in either direction in my room, I lost 25 decibels of bass, and 25 decibels is a lot. I wish all of you could have heard the difference along with me, because the bass just kind of went away at the spot where it was 25 dB down. You almost couldn't even hear it. And imagine somebody who wasn't aware of how rooms can interact with the sound and have a negative effect on certain frequencies. Imagine if they didn't have this knowledge and they stuck a seat there, and how disappointed that person would be, and how much of a different experience that person would get compared to everybody else when listening to music or watching movies. The frequency that this occurs at is going to be different in most rooms. It has to do with the size of the room. The dimensions of the room emphasize or cancel out certain frequencies. And it's not just one frequency, it's multiple frequencies that are affected by this phenomenon known as room modes. So don't be that person that isn't aware of this case or this issue and accidentally puts a seat in a null spot or a sub in the wrong spot. And I got news for you too. There's no Audyssey or automatic EQ or equalization that can fix a seat in that bad spot like that. An expert can help you deal with that problem, but ideally you consult with an expert ahead of time to avoid these pitfalls, which are really caused by physics and therefore are pretty predictable. So I hope this video and this experiment was enlightening for you. Make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more videos like this and follow along. Thanks a lot.